Matt Fraser. Today we're going to be taking a look at the comments that I've received upon doing videos on Matt Fraser. If you're not familiar, he's a psychic medium where he talks to people that have passed on and frankly scams innocent individuals for their hard-earned money by lying to them. It's a song as old as time. It's a tale as old as rhyme. It's the same bit over and over again. The only difference is that now he happens to be doing it over Zoom. This next comment scares me the most because it has 10 upvotes and it says spirits don't need a medium to communicate with you. They can send signs of their own. So, J.E., you almost had it. You almost had it. And at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their own beliefs. Some people find comfort in the fact that you could still be talking to the person that passed on long after they've already passed on. My problem is when people like Matt Fraser come in with their little stupid suit, his little annoying gold suit, and tells you that he has the ability to communicate with your loved one. This next one was astonishing because it kind of sets the scam up. 505 says, I could tell you that I bought a few different $19 readings. He picked me on the last one and was way off. When I let him know he was way off, he quickly ended the session. My session will never be put on his YouTube channel. I was skeptical, but I did want to believe. They also mentioned that they screen recorded the session and if I wanted. Now, unfortunately, I did reach out to this individual. They haven't reached out back. I'm really interested in seeing this video because I'd love to see what a session looks like unedited from the perspective of, in this case, the mark, as much as I hate to call him the mark. And this really sets up the scam perfectly because this guy says that he bought a couple different $19 online readings. How many people do you think actually go and buy a session and don't get picked by Matt Fraser? And now guess what? You've paid $19 for a session. You've watched a reading of someone else. You haven't gotten picked and you keep paying in the hopes that he picks you. And when he eventually picks you, he ends up being completely off. And then you've essentially wasted all of that money. He's not going to give you that money back. There's no refunds on psychic readings. It's like asking your weed dealer for a refund. Interesting as well that this person managed to actually get a session. And the moment the session started going south, Matt Fraser quickly disconnects. You have the luxury of doing this when you're doing readings over Skype or Zoom or whatever program happens to be popular today. Had he been on stage, he would have just moved on to someone else and then maybe gotten warmer with that particular individual. It's all the same shit. This next one claps back at your boy Piggy and says, go watch most of his videos and explain to me how he gets so many specific things correct. How does he know how they departed? How does he just say someone's name? He barely asks any questions. Now, I'm going to save you from the dissertation of schizophrenia that this individual happened to have left me. You could see it right there on the screen. Suffice to say, they wanted to know how Matt Fraser gets his information specifically. And the truth of the matter is that I can't tell you that because I'm not there. And then somebody would hear me say that and immediately latch onto that and think, oh, look, Mr. Little Skeptic can't actually tell me how he's doing it. Well, I'm not there. I haven't gotten a reading. He hasn't told me, but what I could tell you is how he most likely is doing these things. And that's that he's fucking cheating. He's cheating. It's the easiest solution. Occam's razor. Look at what he is doing. The specific information he gives you is always information that could hypothetically be found online with a quick search. Now, the difficulty and the art form of this style of mediumship used to be able to go on stage and you would tell people information about loved ones that you couldn't possibly know, and the fact that you're doing it on stage without any sort of apparatus on you or without asking any specific questions, that's the art form. Now, he doesn't have to necessarily do that. He still does that, but now he doesn't even have to leave the comfort of his own stupid home. He's looking at a screen the entire time. He could be looking at God knows how much information that's looked up by his team and carefully culled after the participant gave them all the information that you would need to find out anything about an individual, their name, their email, their phone number, their address. You could get so much information off of an individual just based on their name alone. Imagine how much you could find about an individual when you know their birthday, when you know specific information that only something like a bank would know. But you're giving all that information willingly to Matt Fraser and his team the moment you sign up and register for any one of these readings. And all he has to do is just fill in the blanks. Just go in there and say generic bullshit that anyone would want to hear. Oh, your loved one, he's telling me here from beyond, his soul is telling me that he really misses you and that he loves you and that despite the fact that he's your ex and he passed away, he still has a lot of care for you. Fuck off. Ooh, I hope Matt slaps a lawsuit on you. He's the most genuine, caring medium with accurate readings. I've attended many of his live readings, and he was 100%. Nobody can guess names. He delivers only personal messages that the person receiving the reading from their loved one on the side. You people slander, believe in this clown. Fuck off. I've already mentioned the many tools of the trades that are implemented by these scam artists. I guess the one that I haven't mentioned is the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be. And included is the Mentalism Academy, which is where you learn all the mind reading stuff, all the tricks that could make you appear to be a psychic, tricks that'll make you appear to be a better medium than Matt Fraser. You should check that out for the low price of $5 a month. The Mentalism stuff's a little bit more pricey. It's $10 a month, but still, you get access to all those videos. And on top of that, I'm always uploading new content. His live shows, including his live readings, are bogus. He only gives less than 10 people readings during a show, which is complete BS for the hundreds of people who attend. He claims he tries to get as many people as possible. Yeah, right. He ought to stop talking about himself so much, or then stop doing 20-minute readings at a time, do 5 minutes per person, and actually help these people heal, since that's what he claims. And of course, this makes all the sense in the world when you are specifically calling information from only a small amount of people. It would be impossible to get information from absolutely everyone, or at least information that's presentable to an audience that would be entertaining enough for however long the show happens to be. These psychics and mediums are always adapting to incoming technologies, and especially when it comes to the field of information gathering. In the old John Edwards shows, they would have you fill out information as to who you want to talk to, who you want to reach out, what's their name, when did they die, and information like that. And of course, that would be the information that John Edwards would then regurgitate back at you during his shows. Same thing with this. Now, the only difference is that you don't necessarily have to have people walking around the lobby and filling out prayer cards. Now, you don't have to go through that trouble. You could just easily find out information about an individual despite their Facebook or Instagram being privated. You could find out anything about an individual with very little information. I'd seen too many videos to rule out him being fake. I'd have to get a reading myself to truly believe it, but your video doesn't prove he is fake or real. I've already mentioned this many times. I can't tell you exactly what he's doing because I'm not there. What I could tell you is what he's likely to be doing based on information that we've had for, I don't know, a million fucking years. And him being just one of many people taking advantage of the grief of individuals to tell them things that cannot possibly be true. Information nowadays is extraordinarily easy to come across, and even more so by people whose job it is to specifically look up information about any given person. Now, unfortunately, half the battle is done when you are a person attending this show, because the odds are that you are somebody who is desperate, grasping at any straws to be able to talk to the person that has passed on. And you have somebody like this who is taking advantage of that grief and taking advantage of the fact that your guard is down in order to provide you with a reading. Matt Fraser's the real thing, and by real thing, I mean gay.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.